What is up, guys? Welcome to the Spartan 1 long format content video. Now, before we get started, I definitely forgot my video stand. So I'm gonna be doing this straight up out of my left hand. Let me get a little coffee first. Okay, so in this segment of entertainment for your viewing pleasure, what we're going to be discussing is my favorite discovery over the past year, which is the art and process of gamifying things to create momentum and velocity, whether it be in your personal health and fitness or in your business life. I think that gamification is one of the most underrated processes that have ever been really coined by anybody, because of the ability for the process of gamification to make something that sucks fun and allow you to do it better, faster, and reap better results from it. So what I'm going to be discussing today are the 10 elements of what Spartan 1 does when it comes to gamification. The first element is life is like a game. So when we wake up in the morning, how many times have we thought, well, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do that. Basically what happens is we can get into a mental frame where we see our daily activities as a negative game, as something that we don't really want to do, right? So when we think of, there's literally a board game called the game of life, right? When we think of life as a game, what we're doing is we're essentially putting it into a mental framework where there's a determined outcome that would be pleasing to us, right? So if we do X, 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 and Y, there's optimistically an outsized return for doing those actions well. And in the process of doing those actions, it can be super enjoyable, right? That's basically the elements of a game. There's rules, there's structures, and there's a clearly defined outcome with an outsized reward comparative to what we are doing in order to win that game. There's also elements of competition with ourselves, with other people, and there's lots of different aspects that create tension, that create competition, that create fun environments for us to experience great things. So life overall is a game. So when it comes to performance and optimization, what we're really doing is we're taking those elements of our life and we're gamifying them so that we can take all of the sting and all of the resistance out of them to create frictionless momentum on those elements of our life that once they get really enhanced and those processes are really solid and fun to do, other aspects of our life benefit from those processes. So why nutrition and fitness are crucial. If you have $1 million and you wake up and you feel like shit and your brain's all fogged up and you just feel demotivated, your testosterone's all fucked up, there's really no value to that $1 million if you think about it, right? Whatever you put in to get there, if you're in a not great state, then enjoying that money or enjoying that success really isn't going to happen. So when we look at fitness and nutrition, it is a key component to living a great life, right? If our energy levels are awesome, if our brain's working well, if everything's firing on all cylinders, then we have potential in us. We have the ability to take momentum and go forward, go conquer the day, go achieve new things, and have better experiences. So when we capitalize on our fitness and our nutrition and really lock those down in systematic processes that work for us, we open up different echelons of our life because that foundation is so strong. Now, when we gamify a process, what we're doing is we're taking a process that generally isn't really fleshed out, isn't really optimized, and we're putting aspects to it as if it were a game, right? So if we look at chess, the goal is to beat the opponent, to checkmate the king. Now, when we play chess, where do we actually have the most fun? Do we have the most fun when we checkmate the king, or is it the act of playing chessing, right? When we go through the game of chess, we actually have the most fun in the process of playing chess, in the strategy, in the tactics, in the ability to showcase our intelligence, in the arena that is the chessboard. We get the most satisfaction. So the most satisfaction actually comes from the process of playing chess. Even though there is a lot of satisfaction when you whoop your friend's ass at chess, right? You get the bragging rights and things like that. The raw satisfaction comes from playing chess. So when we gamify a process, we are making the process really, really fun. So with nutrition, people oftentimes are like, dude, I don't want to track my calories. I don't want to do this. Well, those are all valid perspectives, but it's not that nutrition is bad. It's just the process and the association and the focus that they may have adopted is not optimized to the point of where they have a process that's fun enough to keep them engaged for the long haul, because consistency is really what breeds those exponentially great results. They may not experience those results because their processes aren't as fun as they could be, right? So when we gamify a process, what we're really doing is we're looking for a clear, defined outcome or objective for winning, right? We want to know exactly what happens if we take all the right steps, if we do all the right dance moves, if we do everything perfectly. What does it look like, and what is the outsized reward for us putting forth this extra effort, right? So number one is really figuring out what the end goal looks like. The second aspect is understanding if I'm going to do these daily action habits, right? If I'm going to eat a certain amount of calories, if I'm going to go to the gym a certain amount of time, what is going to make those daily action habits enjoyable for me? And that sounds dumb because people think of it like, well, it's fucking work to eat, calories and to go to the gym every day. It's work. It shouldn't be fun. But that's also just a perspective that can keep you stagnant, right? If there are aspects of it that are fun that we can multiply and increase and direct our focus towards, then essentially we can make that process really freaking fun, right? Like when you look at a statistical backlog of your data and your scores, and you get an overall score at the end of the week that says 75% of the time you crushed your nutrition, there's a lot of reward in that. There's a lot of like, man, that's kind of badass. I bet I can hit 80% next week. So the enjoyment can come from the increase in your statistical average of hitting those things, right? That takes away the focus of all the bullshit of like, well, I have to do this and this and this. It's really just a focus problem. And when we fix that focus problem, we can decrease resistance and we can increase the momentum towards those positive results that we're looking for. So that's in a nutshell how we gamify a process. Consistency over time wins, right? So if we can create processes that are fun enough, then we can enjoy those processes on a weekly basis and have them be momentum adders to our life. They can be engines on a positive aspect of our life instead of things that drain our energy. This is huge. It's all about really reframing, gamifying processes and making them positive aspects of our life that give us energy rather than take energy away. Now, when we look at the nutrition levels, right? The Spartan 1 process has 3 levels for base nutrition mastery. Number 1 is understanding protein and calories. So when we have a diet that we build, it's always around protein, because protein protects your muscle mass, it fills you up, it makes your brain work better. So any diet that's super deficient in protein generally isn't the best for Spartan 1 candidates. So we build it on getting adequate protein first. Then we figure out if you're trying to lose weight, gain weight, we modulate the back end calories to do so. So level 1 is getting the right protein and then eating whatever you want as long as you just make it within that calorie limit. Super easy to do. And every single day, no matter what you're doing, you can always hit level 1. That's the beauty of it. The system's really designed to where you can never fail this. Food timing is the second aspect. So when you beat level 1, you go to level 2, and then you start to look at food timing. You start to understand, okay, if I can hit my protein, I can hit my calories every day. Now I want to time the food correctly, because when we time the food correctly, that does a lot to regulate our blood sugar levels. I don't really eat a ton of breakfast a lot of the time, right? But other people do really, really good with breakfast in the morning. So it's figuring out that food timing window that works best for you. And then once we understand that food timing, we go to level 3. Level 3 is fats, carbs, and quality. Now, you can run your body on a lot of different systems. So for a long time, I did ketogenic dieting. And basically what that is you just take carbs and you replace them all with fats, right? You still have your protein, but you just make fats the priority over carbs. 95% of people are vice versa of that. 95% of people do way, way better with carbs, right? So generally what we want to do is we want to figure out, should you be eating more carbs? Do you do better with more fats? It's fine tuning that. And then working to make the building blocks of the diet the highest quality that we can. Okay, if I'm gonna eat chicken every day, can I do organic from this place, right? So it's incrementally increasing a couple of those variables just to get some icing on the cake. Once we have all three of those aspects dialed in and we're able to hit those 75% of the time over the course of a month, first of all, you're gonna feel fucking awesome. Second of all, you're gonna look great. And third of all, you're gonna become unconsciously competent at that, which means you're just gonna eat that way after doing it for long enough to where you don't even need to exert brain power. So it's badass to master that system, because now for the rest of your life, you're gonna know, okay, I'm gaining a little bit of weight. I just cut 200 calories here, got my protein, got this, and this, bang, 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 bang. Good to go. God damn, I love coffee. All right, workout levels. So when we talk about workout levels, what we're doing is we're essentially going down 3 levels of working out. So number 1 is your time in the gym and your split. So the first element of this is understanding how long do you want to work out for. 95% of people is 45 minutes. You don't want to spend really more than 45 minutes a day in the gym. Unless you're super heavy training for something, 45 minutes in the gym will get about 90% of it done. It's a short enough time window too that you can focus and get a great workout. If you're in there for 2 hours a day, chances are, I had experience with this, you start playing on your phone, you just get bored. So by creating time constraints of about 45 minutes and then selecting the number of days that we're gonna work out, what we can do is not only can we build our calorie amount off of that, based off of our activity level, we can have a standardized program where every single week I'm gonna be in the gym 4 times. And I'm just gonna go for 45 minutes, but I'm gonna do that every single week. Once again, once we start doing that for a month, you become unconsciously competent at that, meaning that you will become a person who just automatically, in their subconscious, goes to the gym 4 times per week. So that's our base level 1. Level 2 is we wanna modulate the sections. So within that 45-minute time period, we want to break that into 3 parts, right? 3 15-minute segments. Generally, it looks something like this. Number 1 is stretching, yoga, postural correction, getting warmed up for the workout. Second section is medium weights and cardio or high interval training. Third section is heavier weights, heavier lifts, more compound stuff. That works really well for about 90% of people. But that's ultimately customizable depending on what your goals are, right? So if you're trying to be a marathon runner, we're gonna modulate that a little bit more towards cardio. Okay, so once you've mastered level 2, level 3 is volume. So once we have our time slots, we've got the days we're working out, we've got the exercise components, now we're looking at increasing volume. So am I gonna lift heavier weights or am I gonna do more reps? In tracking that, how can I statistically progress over time to do more and more and more volume? So those are the 3 base levels of lifting in the Spartan 1 system. Now, when we go into what I call installing the prime state, this is where it gets really, really cool. So when we're looking at basically what our goal is with working with Spartan 1, is not only do we want to look great, feel great, have mastery over our nutrition and mastery over our lifting, but we want to feel optimized every single day in the best possible way that we can. So what I do when we engineer prime states is we literally take out a piece of paper, we figure out how do I want to feel every day, how long do I want to have energy, like we get really detailed with this. We build that person, right? Those energy levels, how I feel, how my mental focus is, everything. We script it out, build a human. We set alarms on our phone every single day where we feel like that person. We literally teach our neurochemical nervous system what it feels like to operate like that all day. And after about 30 days of reinforcing that habit into your nervous system, that starts to become your baseline state. Meaning that if you get depressed or you get really happy or you get angry, your baseline state, because it's been reinforced so much, is what you come back to. So having an optimized baseline state is badass because number 1, if you get out of whack, don't worry about it because you're always gonna come back to your base state. And if your base state's fucking awesome, then you feel awesome 95% of the time. So that's why prime state is so cool. Now, when we talk about advanced lifting, advanced nutrition, I'll sum these up pretty quick. Advanced lifting is really, after we've mastered the basic lifting, we really want to build a robust fucking human being. And what we do is we really work hard on baseline calisthenics, building a really big oxygen tank so you have a lot of energy, a lot of cardiovascular strength. And then we really work on joint correction, joint mobility, and healing yourself. So if you look at individuals who take steroids, the reason they get so big and strong is because they can heal themselves. I don't take steroids. I don't recommend steroids to anybody, because if we can fix your hormonal system, if we can get your sleep right, if we can get all of these things that are natural stacked, you can feel pretty fucking great and you can heal really, really fast, specifically when we program that shit into you through the prime state. So a big aspect is being able to heal a lot faster so we can spend more time in the gym and just feel better overall. When we talk about advanced nutrition is basically taking that nutrition to a more personalized level. So once you've really mastered the 3 tenets of the basic nutrition, we want to look into things like, if you're an entrepreneur and you're working 18 hours a day, being in a state of ketosis or doing temporary ketogenic dieting or fasting to create cellular autophagy, to clean out dead cells in your system, to run your brain off of a different chemical composition, beta hydroxybutyrate, by being in ketosis, can do a lot of different things if tactically applied to your specific situation to make you more powerful. So advanced nutrition is just taking that next step of customization and making a diet that really, really works for you, and also includes all the elements of freedom that you want in terms of going out, hanging out with the family, eating on holidays, all that good stuff. Now, the last aspect of this is making it fun with mental framing. So when we do this, everything has to be fun. There's no excuses. Every single process has to be fun, it has to be rewarding, and it has to be something that we could do for the rest of our life, right? Because if you can't do it for the rest of your life, why are you gonna do it? You're gonna be ripped for like 4 weeks and then just go back to doing what you normally wanna do? So making all of these things not only unconsciously competent to where you don't have to think about them, but making them to where you are having a goddamn blast every single time that you're going through one of these processes. You're having fun with the gamification, you're hitting those benchmarks easily, you're seeing progression, you're just living in this optimized, dominating, winning state 24/7, keeps you addicted to the game, and your results just get better and better. So that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want more content, go to Spartan1elite.com. Additionally, you can check this calendar link below to apply to work with me and my team personally. We've got some badass coaches at Spartan 1. We've got Graham Betchert, who is basically the performance coach for Steph Curry. He works directly with the Utah Jazz. We've got a bunch of other individuals on the team who are just fucking phenomenal. So if you're looking to get optimized, definitely click that link, schedule a call with us, and Eden's out. I'll see you in the next video.